Today for an Imbizo called by Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini. The Zulu King is fighting to retain control of land under the Ingonyama Trust. A high-level panel led by former President Kgalema Motlanthe has recommended that the trust be scrapped and the people living on the land be granted title deeds. The panel found that ordinary people don't currently benefit from the land. The 3 million hectares of land was signed over to the king by the apartheid government, and it's controlled by traditional leaders on behalf of the king.
Let's get more on this story now. Our reporter Simpiwe Makanya joins us now live from Ulundi in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Very good morning to you, Simpiwe. Firstly, just give us the significance of this meeting that the Zulu King has called, considering that the land debate, I guess, is in full steam around the country.
Well, a very good morning to you, Blaine, and good morning to the viewers at home. Perhaps before I get to the significance, let me just tell you that we are live at the venue where the meeting will be taking place this morning at about 10 o'clock. We expect the proceedings to begin. Behind me, the stage, as you can see, so far no one has arrived here in terms of the traditional leaders as well as residents, particularly from this area. So we could see probably a delay depending on what time they arrive. But Blaine, to get to the issue that you raised, the significance of this very crucial Imbizo, as you rightfully pointed out, that the king, Zulu King Goodwill Zwelithini, has in the past said that actually the government is basically trying to render the kingdom useless if it goes ahead to take away the land that is under the Ingonyama Trust, which is about 3 million hectares of it, mostly in rural parts of KwaZulu-Natal. This issue, Blaine, has been very topical in the province, as you would know that it's a very sensitive issue. Political parties as well airing their views on the current issue of land. This, of course, follows the high-level panel report, which was headed by the former president, Mr. Kgalema Motlanthe, which basically recommended two things with regards to the Ingonyama Trust. Firstly, it recommended that the Trust Act be amended, which will give a security tenure to those people who are occupying land in rural areas. And obviously the second proposal is that the trust must be dissolved altogether, which has not been welcomed by the king. We are hoping to speak to stakeholders on this topic to find out what this Imbizo aims to achieve, because you know that before the king has been making statements saying that the governing party, the ANC, must resolve this issue once and for all before even the national elections next year.
Simpiwe, you spoke about stakeholders. You did say that people haven't yet arrived there. Who can we expect at this meeting today?
Well, Blaine, one of the people who have been very vocal in terms of this call by the high-level panel, which he has been very vocal in opposing it, is Inkosi Mangosuthu, the leader of the IFP. We are expecting him to be here, and obviously the king will be here, Izinduna and Amakosi will also be here, but we don't know the form in which this Imbizo will take, because as you would know, Blaine, that in prior events such as this one, usually the king will just give marching orders. We don't know whether there will be any form of interaction. Perhaps let me also add that prior to this, we know that the king has been galvanizing support from ordinary people on the ground, especially those in KwaZulu-Natal. You recall that he even asked residents of this province to donate 5 rand towards this process, because the king is saying that actually that amount of money will be useful in fighting this proposal by the governing party to take away the land which is under the Ingonyama Trust.
Some people, if you can still hear me, I mean, that is a very important point. We know about this 5 rand that has been requested for the so-called legal fees kitty. So what is the talk on the ground? Is this likely, the matter likely to end up in the courts, do you think?
It most certainly will, Blaine, judging by the comments that the King has been making in the build-up to this Imbizo today. He has said that before, that actually he's not willing to give away the land which is under the Ingonyama Trust. And also, Blaine, you know that it's not only about the issue of giving residents land, but also it's about the issue of the finances, because the trust itself, in this year alone, this year, their financial reports revealed that about 90 million rand was given to the trust, and this basically has angered some of the residents in this part of the province, in this part of the country, where they are saying they are residents of rural areas, but when they hear of such monies being involved in the issue of land, they wonder where those monies go to. And we are hoping, obviously, to speak to the chairperson of the trust later on, as soon as he arrives here, Judge Jerome Gwenya.
Simpiwe, you speak about the residents. Are they aware of this high-level panel report by former President Kgalema Motlanthe? What's their reaction if they have heard about it?
Well, there are mixed views, Blaine, on this report that the former president tabled. Some obviously are saying that, as residents of these rural communities, we are not benefiting anything, and we don't even have title deeds to say that we own this land, and because you would know that they are given what we call permission to occupy, so which basically means that they are using the land, but the land does not belong to them. So most of them are saying that maybe it's high time that they be given full right, as they are using the land already, to say this is our land, we own it.
Yeah, busy day ahead of you, Simpiwe. We'll try to catch up with you a bit later on. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting, Simpiwe Makanya, live for us in Ulundi, northern KwaZulu-Natal.